I've got a 2003 Ford Ranger, and today I'm going to work on this problem, very common problem. The lights in the instrument cluster have burned out except for maybe one little segment over there. You can't see any of the other gauges. These are the tools I'll be using for this job: a flashlight, pliers, a trim tool, sometimes it's known as a bone tool, a 5.5 millimeter socket, a 7 millimeter socket, an 8 millimeter socket, a T-20, and a flexible head nut driver or socket driver. You can also use a ratchet on the end of the socket. That's for the middle screw on the upper instrument cluster bezel. Okay, to start here, we're going to remove a bunch of 7 millimeter screws. They're located in a few places. There's 3 right there. There's 3 here. There's this one under the dash. There's another one underneath the hood release. Another one here. And then 2 more right there. So we'll start by removing all of those. Okay, once you get these screws pulled out, you can use a plastic interior trim tool to remove the lower knee bolster. And all you have to do is just reach around and pull. And essentially it falls out just like that. They're held in by these little clips up top. From there, we'll do the same with the trim around the radio. This tends to be kind of tight, so just pry carefully. Around the edge. And then this whole unit will come out. Let's move this air cleaner or air freshener out. And then this whole unit can move out like this. That's all we need to do for this panel. You can elect to remove it if you'd like, but I usually just leave them hanging there. It doesn't hurt any to just hold it or leave it there. Okay, next we're going to have to remove this lower knee bolster reinforcement panel here, and it's held on with a bunch of 8 millimeter screws here, 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 and here. The reason why we have to remove this is so we can access 2 7 millimeter screws. There's another one right here. There's actually one more screw that you need to remove here. And there's that one. Also an 8 millimeter. Okay, with that metal panel out of the way, we can access the last 2 screws. There's this one here. And there's that one right there. Okay, for this next step, you're going to want to put the transmission in the first gear here if you've got an automatic. That way the trim panel will clear the shifter and the column. If you've got a manual transmission, you can ignore this. Make sure the parking brake is on or you've got the wheels chocked. And use your plastic trim tool to pry this upper dash bezel off. It's just held in with clips all the way around. Sometimes you don't even need the pry tool. Alright. And then you've got a couple of connectors here that you need to remove from the dimmer switch and the headlight switch. And the upper bezel will then come off. And if you have an automatic transmission, you're going to want to unhook this cable that goes to the shift indicator. There's a little wire, that red wire there at the tip of my finger, that you'll need to remove off of that hook. And there's a 5.5 millimeter screw that you'll need to remove to get this whole cable out. You want to be careful with that red cable. You don't want to just let it fly off of that hook. You definitely want to grab onto it with pliers or something and then slowly release the tension. If you let it snap free, it might break the needle. It might break this indicator needle right here. Once you get the shift indicator cable free, you've just got a few more screws to get the bezel off, or the instrument cluster out. It's right here, right there, and right there. I believe these are 7mm. Yep, 7mm screws. So just remove all 4 of these and the instrument cluster should come out. You can pull the cluster back about this far and that'll give you access to the connectors here. You can squeeze and push on these connectors and pull them out, and they just pull straight out. Or if you're lazy like me, you can just access the bulb holders directly from here. And all these black ones are for the instrument cluster illumination. Okay, once you have all of these cluster bulbs out, all you have to do is pull the bulb from the holder. These are 194 bulbs. You can get them pretty much anywhere. You might want to wear some gloves so that when you put the new bulbs in, you don't get any skin oils on the bulb glass. That can shorten the life. And to put a new bulb in, it's just a matter of reinserting it into the socket like that and screwing it back into the cluster. And the new bulbs, just once you have the new bulbs in the old socket, they just go in the hole like that and twist clockwise, and they lock right in. Okay, I hooked up the headlight switch and the dimmer switch temporarily so that I can check my work before I put the dash back together. Probably can't see it with the light on, but the entire cluster has light now. So now I can just put everything back together the way they came out. Okay, so I've got the 4 cluster screws put on and tightened. Well, here's the last one. They're 8mm. Just want to make sure they're nice and snug. And then from here you can put the upper dash trim back on. Don't forget to hook the dimmer switch and the headlight switch back up before you button the upper dash bezel back together. From here it just pushes back into its cavity like so. You want to make sure you get things like these pegs lined up, and then reinstall all the screws that you took out earlier. Then you can push the radial bezel back in its place. You may have to line things up. It should just snap in here. And then 2 more of these screws. And 5 screws total on this one. Now we have to hook the shift indicator back up. If you've got an automatic like this one, basically just backwards of how you took it off. As a quick note, if you have a shift indicator that doesn't line up properly, the adjustment's very simple. Just rotate this wheel. Rotate that wheel until the indicator lines up the way you need it to. Okay, so now you just put this metal knee bolster back together using the 5 8mm bolts. So there's that screw that got tightened, that screw that got tightened, and there's two more that hold the hood release. Can't really see it here, but I'm tightening the last one there. I actually found it easier to use a Torx bit. I believe this was a T-20. And these are the bulbs I pulled out of the cluster. All but one of them were burned out. These bulbs are $194. You can get them on Amazon or any of your parts stores or even Walmart, that sort of thing, or that sort of place. Pretty common bulb. And that's a successful repair. Thanks for watching.